For decades, a voice arrived at nearly the same time each day. It didn't rush. It didn't shout. It assumed something important, that the listener was willing to wait. The stories were familiar. The names were not always immediate. And somewhere in the pause, in the space between what was known and what was coming, trust was built. And then one day, the voice changed. This was a voice built on precision, on breath, on timing, a voice that depended not just on words, but on restraint. The pauses mattered, the silences mattered. It was a voice that assumed the listener could hold curiosity without being spoon fed answers. And for years, decades really, it worked until subtle changes began to appear. A slight slowing, a different cadence, a sense not of failure, but of effort. For someone whose instrument was their body, these changes were not cosmetic, they were physiological. The human voice is not a single thing. It is breath controlled by lungs, sound shaped by vocal cords, language processed through memory, timing, and cognition. Aging affects all of it. Over time, vocal cords lose elasticity, breath control weakens. Cognitive processing, especially the rapid retrieval required for live or recorded narration, demands more energy. These changes are not dramatic, they are incremental. And because they are gradual, they often go unnoticed until they don't. For broadcasters, storytellers, and speakers, the body becomes both collaborator and limit. Not broken, just human. Eventually, the voice appeared less often. Listeners noticed, but didn't always understand why. There was no announcement, no dramatic farewell, just a gradual absence. This is how many medical realities unfold quietly, privately. The public often sees disappearance as a choice, but sometimes it's accommodation, a recalibration, a recognition that the body, no matter how trusted, eventually asks for something different. The voice belonged to Paul Harvey. For generations, he reshaped how stories were told by trusting listeners to stay. He believed that meaning deepened when the name came last. That understanding mattered more than immediacy. This podcast exists because of that philosophy, not to imitate it, but to honor it through a different lens. Each week, we will explore the hidden medical stories behind famous lives. We will withhold the name, not to trick you, but to refocus attention where it so often belongs, on the body, on the diagnosis, and on the human experience that came before recognition. The name will always come at the end. This is Behind the Diagnosis, Famous Lives Untold, the life you knew until the diagnosis. And I am your host, Zoe Michaels. Until next week, be healthy.